We're back.
We are back. You miss me? You should be so lucky to miss me.
I'm like, we've talked the whole time. What are you talking about?
I just thought I'd ask. You know.
Yes, I've missed doing this.
But have you noticed that I'm not there? I'm in Australia. I'm not supposed to be here.
Well, not yet. I would be driving to LA right now.
I would be last minute packing, probably.
Yeah, you'd be changing your mind about your outfits like 16 million times.
No, don't do that. Sure. Listen, if you had have watched this last 20 minutes, I think we've been on camera together.
Yeah.
I just said to you, it's like watching my grandparents get ready to go out. They're just like, she couldn't find her glasses. She couldn't find the remote. What the remote was for, I am not even hazarding a guess.
It's for the ring light.
I had to find my light.
And your hair got caught in your head.
And my hair got caught.
After your earring fell.
Yeah, my earring fell out. My hair got caught. Look, you know, I just said I think I'm going to find last week's breakfast somewhere in here. And can't remember what else. Oh, we had to get the chairs level. We were going up and down on the chairs.
We're pretty level. If I sit back, I'll sit back because I can't see anyway, so there's no point getting closer trying.
We're just going to blame Laurie's lack of vision for absolutely everything. So it's been a journey getting us up and ready. We should have been prepared. We haven't done it for months.
Well, and you've got a new setup.
I do. I have an old setup that I'm now using. How about that?
Well, yeah, you're using it newly.
Mm-hmm. I am.
And I'm in a new setup, so
life is good. Life is good. You're in your studio.
I know.
Laurie's gone up in the world.
Studio. I have. I've got 3 sets right now. This one was pre-made.
Oh my goodness.
I walked in, they're like, we hope that's okay. And I'm like, oh, that's great. So I just had to fill it up with stuff.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
It's great. Fun. You can just scoot your little chair from one set to the other, depending on what you're recording.
Well, I have different chairs.
Oh.
I'm bougie.
Oh my God.
I've got a high stool for this because this is a high counter.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got the chair in the other over there, and then I have comfy chairs. Yeah.
Sounds a bit posh, really.
Very posh. I feel like I've really come up in the world.
Well, you can just lower your chair a little bit and we'll get you down to the right level.
I'll sit back.
Oh, dear. You've got my makeup behind, which always looks like the bomb has gone off. My makeup desk is like a teenage girl's bedroom.
What mine looks like right now. It's in the office because I have a table. Got it all laid out where I can see what's what. I did use the moisturizer you recommended.
Oh, yeah. Did you like it?
Love it. My God, it smells good. I put it on just for that, even if it didn't do anything.
It's a moisturizer, a mask. So if your skin's dry, you can just put it on and wipe it off, and a bit of a makeup primer as well.
No,
the Embarrassments, for those who are interested. I've used it for years. It's probably one of the only moisturizers that I have purchased again and again and again.
It's very comfortable on the skin, and I'm very picky about the texture.
Yeah, it's lovely. The French pharmacy I usually get mine from, because they've got a few other products too.
Yeah, I saw that as I was trying to order it. I was like, which one is it? But yeah, no, it's lovely. Always ask a Taurus about the skincare.
It is probably...
They'll fix you up.
Apart from when's Donald Trump dying, which I refuse to go into.
I thought we talked about that.
No. Apart from Donald Trump dying, what skincare do you use is my most asked question.
Oh, it's your most asked question.
We're not talking about current affairs.
We're not talking about that. Like, Jesus, woman.
No, it's just one of my, they don't care that I'm a medium. They don't care I can speak to the dead. What do you use on your skin?
Right. The tears of dissatisfied audience members.
Yes, absolutely.
So, yeah,
No, but I'm glad you liked it. Other
I do.
recommendations you are welcome to ask.
Yeah, no, the fragrance alone. Oh my gosh, I'm very picky about that.
Yeah, I can understand
Mhm.
that. I recently purchased a night cream. So I
Mhm.
quite like Charlotte Tilbury's
Mhm.
magic cream. So
Yeah.
I use that of an evening sometimes over my sorry, I've got a frog in my throat today. My skincare. And I thought, I'll give the night cream a go.
Mm.
Worst thing I've ever purchased in my life. Oh,
She
thanks. Is
gives you
that,
that
yeah,
too?
if you wouldn't
Yeah,
mind.
it's a
Thank you.
lozenge. Yeah.
Great. It's because I was starving and waiting for my coffee and abusing Laurie on text rather than the staff in the sandwich shop whilst I was waiting for them to grow the mushrooms for my
Right.
mushroom sandwich.
I told you to just gnaw on their ankles.
I'm vegetarian.
Oh, that's true.
Mm. So yeah, the Charlotte Tilbury night magic cream, do not buy. You're better off just sticking Vaseline on your face.
Oh, that's a shame.
And it's tacky, so
Oh,
you
I hate
stick
that.
to your pillow.
No, no.
So,
I, when I still, unfortunately, the eczema came back, and I
oh
didn't have
no.
it for the longest time. Like, I think I was 28 the last time
Hmm.
I had eczema, and then it came back in 2023.
Right?
And as a child, I had it horrendously. Like, I still don't like to, but anyway, as a child, it was really bad. And I still don't like to wear short sleeve shirts too much or
Oh,
sleeveless because as a kid, it was like literally all like thick, really bad.
right. Hmm.
And my mother would have me take alpha carry oil baths.
I don't know what they are.
I think like mineral oil in a bath.
Oh, okay.
And I hate to this day certain
What
textures on my
textures?
skin. Yeah,
It
because it
doesn't.
was just,
Didn't that
ugh.
heat up?
No, it was made specifically for, it wasn't really mineral oil, but it has that texture. But it was especially, you can still get it. It's
Mm,
for eczema and psoriasis. And I hate
yeah. And this just made me want to claw off. Look what it gave me. It gave me a.
it. How
I don't
dare
get
it?
pimples.
How dare it?
I got through my whole teenage years without one pimple.
I didn't have pimples until perimenopause, and then I got cystic acne.
Oh my God.
The minute I hit menopause, all of that went away. But it was,
Jesus.
I was like, what the hell is this? It was
Mm.
very bizarre.
Yeah, no, I've
Yeah.
never had them. This is a result of that stupid
Yeah.
fucking cream
Clogged
that
your
I'll never.
pore.
And it wasn't cheap either.
I
It's just
hate
because
that.
I loved the magic cream. I thought I'd try it, and I
Mm-hmm.
reckon I could have mixed the magic cream with a tub of Vaseline and had the same thing.
Oh,
So stick to your Embryolisse.
there you go. Embrolis.
Embryolisse. Yeah. I spoke French the other day.
Did she?
I did. I was in Melbourne and I went to one of my favourite places to shop when I'm in Melbourne is the South Melbourne Market. I still have my apartment, but I used to live just up the
Mm-hmm.
road.
Mm-hmm.
So my weekly shopping was always at the market. And
Mm-hmm.
I walked into a new store there, which is all French stuff. And she spoke to me and I just responded. I know very little French. And until
Mm-hmm.
she then went on to another sentence, I just went, oh. But it
Oh,
was it was just like I was practicing my schoolgirl French,
oh, I love that.
and I still remembered some of it. I speak more
Good, good.
German than French, I think.
My German is very rudimentary. My French is pretty good. I know if I went to France, it wouldn't be more than a day or two before it would
It would
kick
kick
in
back in.
again.
Yeah, muscle
Mm-hmm.
memory's pretty
Mm-hmm.
good when it comes to
Yeah,
languages.
yeah,
But
yeah.
my French is pretty shit. I wouldn't even say rudimentary. But I bought a couple of tea towels.
Ooh, I love tea towels.
With
Especially ones out of French shops because they tend to be very pretty.
well, it has croissants on it.
Ooh.
Do you remember the other day you were saying to me about l'orange poisson?
Steve,
Orange poisson? And I'm going,
Poisson.
why have they named a croissant
Steve.
Steve? Right? And it wasn't until you said he was at, and I went, Poisson. I was mishearing it completely. So I'm imagining this video with an orange croissant.
Croissant. That'll be the next one from French Talk. I'm absolutely in love with Steve Le Poisson.
Okay, well, I'm glad it's not a croissant. But
Well, you know what I think it was? I had bought croissant and had told you I bought a
Mm,
croissant. And then I said I ended up on French Talk. And then there was Steve Le Poisson. Il
right.
est orange.
Yeah, I knew he was orange. I knew what he was. Well, I didn't know what he was. I thought he was an orange croissant, and I knew his name was Steve. But you just confused me completely. And even I, in my shit French, know le poisson is a fish.
That's right. That's right.
Oh, the conversations that go on between Laurie and I sometimes at sort of stupid o'clock. Usually stupid
Right.
o'clock for you because I'm always just going, I'm just going to close my eyes.
Right.
I've been very tired lately,
You have.
but I feel human today for the first time in about 3
Good.
weeks,
Good.
which is good because we're recording
Yeah.
and I've eaten.
Well, people kept bugging us. When's there another Sassy Seers? I'm like, it's coming out eventually.
Eventually, there will be another Sassy Seers eventually. It's time. It is. We love recording them
Yeah.
and we have fun and we love everyone that listens to our
Absolutely.
podcast. But and I was looking after Buff in those last weeks.
Yeah.
I didn't have a lot of, I wouldn't have been much fun, shall we say.
Well, it wasn't a very fun time.
It was not
And
a
it was
very fun time.
It was important for you to have that time.
Yes, I took off. I only took off about a week. I cancelled readings for a week. They've all been rescheduled and redone, but I needed that time. It's funny that because we give so much energy in our work, and we've talked about this, we have only, if you think about our energy as a circle, okay, we deplete our energy every single day with the work that we do, and we do it with love, and we do it because we love it.
Yes.
And I absolutely love all of my clients.
Oh, 100%.
And I would never, ever, ever say, oh, I can't do it because, I wouldn't not do it, is what I mean to say. However, there's other parts of our life on the days that we work, which is why we only work part-time, as in readings. I'm not talking about our jobs full-time, but as in readings. You just, the depletion is there. That's our circle.
That's
my
circle.
gosh.
So go ahead and talk. I'll fill in the whiteboard.
At least half of it on a day that we are reading, as in one-on-one clients, or if we're doing a group event, will be taken with the excess energy that we are giving. Now, sometimes that's a bit less, that's a bit more, because our clients, those that interact, those that are, some people do feed us.
Oh, absolutely.
And it just depends on the type of reading it is. That's
how many we do in a day.
And how many we do. I stick to between 3 and 4.
Yeah.
3, especially if it's mediumship. 4, my head explodes.
That's why I moved to 3.
Yeah.
I can always increase it. But
yeah. And then we've got another 10 to 15% on the interactions we have with our Patreon, answering questions, recording.
I would actually put Patreon for me almost.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It's around that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we've also got to do our food shopping, get dressed, exercise, interact with those in our everyday life. Do our administration, our business admin.
That's how much time it gets. This is how much time it
You should
needs.
get, yeah. I'm just finding that out. When I spoke to my CPA this morning, he was like, he's going to have his work cut out getting my stuff sorted.
Right.
And then, whatever else we've got left is for fun things like this. And that's
This is
not to
other
say that our Patreon
fun,
isn't fun, because it is.
but it's different.
But it's different. We've got to make sure that we've got the emotional energy to go on there, which is why I always go on Patreon about 7 a.m. my time.
Right. And then we get some sleep.
Mm-hmm. You get less sleep than I do.
Not lately. The podcast studio has done what I needed it to do.
You've corrected your sleep pattern.
I have been. That's why I was like, oh no, I agreed to 8 o'clock.
When did you
I'm
agree
fine.
to 8 o'clock?
8 o'clock p.m. with you.
What? I'm
because
sorry.
I was up at like 6:30.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. But not having the laptop in the room where I sleep means I can't go, oh, let me just edit this thing.
Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And be up till 2 a.m, And I was hoping this would help me rearrange my schedule and my time.
Yes.
So I wasn't just filling it. So I could be more purposeful in my
I
actions.
think being purposeful in our actions, I've sort of woken up to that a lot in the last 12 months, making sure that, okay, if I'm going to agree to do this, do I really want to do it?
Mm-hmm.
Or if I want to do something else, do I have the energy? Because days that I do readings, I have no energy.
Mm.
Or I do, but I don't really want to speak to anyone else.
But you were right. We get peopled out.
Yes.
But you were also dealing with a lot of things going on. So besides your own healing, there were other events that had happened, and then boof, and so that was a lot. You didn't have a lot of emotional reserves.
Well, no. And that was the point I was trying to make, is that emotional resilience, because
Mm-hmm.
Buff had been sick for close to 2 years, 18 months, 2 years. And we thought we had a good 8 months where he was better. And I thought that was, we were on the right pathway. Unfortunately, for those of you that don't know, Buff is no longer with us, as they found a stomach cancer, which had been causing all his symptoms. And I think actually we were lucky to get as long as we did from him, from when he first got sick. But my life was around being here for him. I couldn't leave him for more than an hour. I had to arrange, even though there are 4 family members, I was the one. It's always the way, isn't it? I was the one, changing my life for him, but I was glad to do it. And even though he's gone, he's still around us. That he ate so much in that last week. I just gave him, for a dog that had stomach cancer, he actually gained a couple of kilos before he died, because it was, here's a Big Mac, here's some donuts. The vet told us very clearly not to make our decision based on his hunger levels, because he was on prednisolone. And he would literally park himself outside the pantry from the moment he woke up. As the vet had given him that sedation, because the vet came home to do it, I know I'm laughing, but I was crying at the time. He was nice and calm, and 4 of us were just talking to him and patting him. And the vet opened a syringe, which the wrapper rattled. He was up, sat at the vet's feet, begging for a treat. It was very funny. But he he went to sleep with a belly full of Tim Tams and burgers and just about anything a dog could want. And strangely enough, iced coffee, because he used to beg my son for iced coffee, because he'd show up with the dare, or the plastic container, and he was never allowed it. So Ollie showed up with a big thing of iced coffee and poured him a bowl of it.
Oh,
And he loved it. But he was the love of my life, and
yeah.
that's what I was dealing with. But yes, and Laurie has been a great support, and all of my Patreons have been amazing support for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
And no, I'm never getting a fucking dog. I'm going to get Steve, the orange fish.
He has arms and legs.
He has arms and legs. Okay, fine. A fish with arms and legs.
You
Whatever
have to.
next.
You have to find Steve
And
on
I've seen
French Talk.
Steve.
Yeah, I'm so into all the videos.
I have seen Steve. I'll have to make myself a video of Steve, the French croissant.
And it gave me ideas for content.
What was that?
It gave me ideas for content.
Okay.
Because I've been saying for years, I need to learn the French vocabulary for astrology.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can teach, like, have the French word, these astrological glyph, and then show it in English. And then everybody's
Cool.
learning something. And then maybe I can become an icon like Jerry Lewis. And if I need somewhere to go, there's croissants involved.
There's croissants.
Be like, s'il vous plaît. S'il vous plaît.
I'm pretty sure they have croissants in
Sanctuaire.
part of Canada.
I want to go to Canada. I want to go to Aix-du-Provence. I want to sit with some really good cognac and some stinky cheese.
I'll take the stinky cheese. Don't like cognac. I love Provence though. Oh my God. Yes. Maybe we should have our next event instead of thinking about me getting into the United States. As I told you when we were booking it,
Yeah.
what happens if I'm detained?
Right.
Exactly
like,
what was happening.
Right. And I'm we have yet to see what I was concerned about. We may indeed at this point.
Yes, I was more concerned about being
you
detained.
Yeah.
I went to all the lengths. At least my visa's valid for 5 years. I went to all of the lengths to get the visa to get into the country, and I'm like, what if they hold me? What if I'm arrested? And there was no reason with my social media, but there was no reason at that time.
No, there wasn't. We were, just for the listeners, we were making those decisions. We had to sign the contract on February 4th. That was our deadline.
And we just went.
We were both, and I was concerned about the astrology as well, because it's fairly intense as we get to the end of the month. So, but I never put readings back on the books for this week, which again, I was going to drive out to LA and get stuff ready for Matilda. We were so excited to do.
We were so excited. We were going to Hawaii.
We were going to go to Hawaii. But you know, I never filled up that time, and I'm really glad because I have a week now to get all my other stuff done. Get the podcast studios set. Well, the set set up in the studio, and my tech died.
Yes, your tech died.
I'm waiting on the laptop.
So we are recording this on
my
phone.
My
or
phone.
her bit is on her phone. My bit's on a big swanky laptop that I had as my backup anyway. So
yeah, my backup's in California.
Well, this is why I use Apple. Sorry, I know
I can't do all my good stuff on it. Yeah, no, I can't. I'm a PC girl. I game,
and I get it. I get it, but I have like what they call the ecosystem.
Right. So, and my files are stored in the cloud, but what happens is the executive files for some of the heavy lifting software that I have. So I've got some swanky stuff that I have to go swank back.
I'm sorry.
So,
but I'm not working either because I didn't fill up my time.
Okay. Can we change that statement? Because when we say we're not working,
Yeah,
it doesn't
okay.
mean we're not working.
I am not doing readings next week,
Yeah.
but I am going to be heavy on the recording and the pre-planning and the getting my
Getting our shit
stuff,
together.
getting my admin stuff together, setting
Yeah.
myself up for I'm actually going to take some of Saturday and Sunday off because it's the Easter weekend this weekend.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do fuck all.
Right.
I'm literally going to watch English murder mysteries, eat
Nice.
chocolate,
Yeah.
and do nothing.
That sounds really good.
And then get back to it next week. I also need to go and look at house plans, but other than that. But that's a fun thing to do.
That is a fun thing. Yeah.
Then what's going on with my t-shirt? Looks like it was ironed with a paper bag.
You are in luck.
Mm-hmm.
I can't tell.
Okay. The listeners probably can. I don't know why I say it looks like it's been ironed with a paper bag. I think the last time I ironed anything was 2010. To be fair.
Right.
My iron's probably got rust in it by now. Yes.
I'm going to say I need to get a more comfortable chair for here because I'm sitting on like a wooden stool. That's why I'm fidgeting.
That is not a good thing to be sat on all the time that we are recording.
No, it's okay. I'll survive.
Yeah, but your ass will be numb.
I may move sets in between.
Cool. That sounds like fun.
Where is she? She's here. She's there. She's everywhere. She's like the Scarlet Pimpernel.
Listen, I've got one set. Or I've got my other, the sparkly one.
Mm-hmm.
That one's okay. But that's all I've got. And they're in two separate rooms, not one room.
There's one right across from me that has much more comfortable chairs. I'm not going to film in the other one yet because I need my other lighting. I'm not thrilled with the color scheme with the lighting, so I need up to fix that.
Yeah.
But I'm very excited. It took me at least a decade to manifest this.
Cool.
So,
well, yeah. People need to understand that manifestations come in and we're offered the opportunities, the stepping stones to get us to where we want to be. Things do not happen immediately. This is this instant gratification. It drives me fucking insane. I want, and I want it now. Yeah, well, I want to marry fucking Johnny Depp.
I want a Ferrari.
Johnny Depp, but what do you want? You want a Ferrari?
That's what I used to tell people, and they're like, "Well, I want this." I'm like, "Well, I want a Ferrari." Neither one of us are getting it right now, okay?
Yeah.
It's delayed gratification, and honestly, it's perfect timing. I had enough experiences where I had a step towards this that weren't what I wanted.
Yeah.
That got me clear to know what really mattered, which honestly was less about visuals and more about sound. And this place came like properly soundproofed.
Perfect.
Right?
Yeah.
What were the odds of that?
No, that's great.
So, yeah.
So if anyone's looking for Laurie, she is in her studio.
In my studio, and the whole town knows, and they're all very skeptical because they don't. They're like, "Well, how do you make money podcasting?" And I'm like, I do, and I don't use ads.
No.
Wow.
We can make, well, we're really lucky to be sponsored. Well, our individual ones are.
Yeah.
Our individual ones. We sponsor this one.
Yeah, we sponsored this one, but we're totally open to product placements, clothing, food.
Just not Viagra.
Well, neither one of us would use Viagra. Why would we?
But, you listen to ads sometimes on podcasts and it's got nothing to do with the content.
Right. That's why I don't want us to run ads. I would rather have product placements that they send us.
Oh, we are very open to product placements.
Yeah.
We are open to coffee,
Coffee,
clothing,
clothing. Yeah. Food.
food, absolutely food,
Yeah. Chocolate.
holidays to Europe.
Holidays to Europe. Sponsoring an event for Matilda and I. Yes,
That's
absolutely.
our next manifestation, sponsoring an
Yes.
event for us in, I think it's going to have to be Europe.
You think? And then if you would sponsor my residency somewhere, because I might be.
Which watch list are you on this week?
Oh, God knows. I'm sure I'm on several.
Uh-huh.
No, because I can read.
Well, that's part of the thing. Oh my God. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I've talked about this guy before on Sassy Seers. The medium I'm not going to mention his name. Okay. The medium in Australia. You know
Wow.
who I am talking about. The one that has sold his fucking soul, if he ever
Fucking
had
Mike.
one. Sorry?
Sorry.
Fucking Mike. Are you
It's
fucking Mike? I
it's
didn't
from
know.
it's from What We Do in the Shadows, which is like a like think The Office meets vampires,
Mm-hmm.
and the scene is like, I don't even want to mention his name. I'll mention it. It's fucking
Fucking
Mike.
Mike. Before it was a bit like Malcolm in the Middle because I went, what was it? I said, we're not going to do that. And you repeated it almost immediately. I'm like, fuck. I didn't know the tism was that bad.
Chisholm. Well, let me tell you. So, living with mom and dad,
Mm-hmm.
the tism doesn't fall from the tree.
All these
I'm like,
people going,
well, Dad.
well, when JFK comes out and says that vaccinations cause autism, look at your uncle that's stuck in the attic watching his trains go round and round. That's where the tism comes from.
MMR actually didn't exist when I was an infant. It didn't happen until a year later. I was vaccinated for measles, but not MMR.
Yeah, I know.
And didn't exist for my dad.
Didn't exist for many of my relatives that walked in circles and talked to birds. just saying.
The special people.
The special people, they're not special. They're different.
My mother would say, interesting.
Interesting people. It's like my
Interesting.
grandmother used to call lesbians lesuettes. You know the lesuettes that live up the road? Oh. You know, the two friends.
The roommates.
The roommates, yes.
Yes.
The headmistress and the librarian, the lesuettes. Oh my God.
God.
My brothers and I used to have tears streaming down our face.
Oh, man.
No, the medium. You know the medium I'm talking about, don't
I
you?
do. I do. I do.
He
The one that
has.
would go to the opening of a letter.
Yes, that is
Yes.
the one.
Mm-hmm.
He's now got himself branded as psychic, medium, and social commentator, which I don't think you can be both. Okay. I don't think you can be both, because if you are either using what you're being given by spirit or
Mm-hmm.
you're commentating on social issues.
Mm-hmm. How
Okay.
much you want to bet they're trying to move into social commenter?
Oh, without a doubt, without a doubt. But I'd say he's
Mm-hmm.
lost a fair amount of his audience.
Really?
He went on Sky News. Oh God, I said I wasn't going to talk about current affairs, but I do have to tell you this because he's been on Sky News twice in the last 6 months. Okay, they reel him out because he will say exactly what Sky News, the equivalent of Fox,
Mm-hmm. Owned by the same people.
owned by the same people, want him to say. All right. First of all, he's just annoying. Okay. But he's the average working class person in America adores Trump. Trump's tariffs are going to help them. he's talking. He's an Australian. He's got no idea about his audience, like the American audience. And that, yes, Trump is going to last for so much longer, and he's amazing. He's always said Trump's an amazing person.
I don't want to get arrested.
Go for it. Go for it. Surely we've got some lawyers that listen to us.
Have you seen what's happening with the courts?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, I've seen it.
Dot, 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 dash, dash, dot, 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 dash, dash.
It's my Morse
It's not
code.
SOS. I don't remember what SOS is, but yeah.
I grew up with two. My dad and my brother were both in the Signals Corps.
Well, there you go.
So they used to sit across from each other doing Morse
tapping
code messages to each other. Yeah. This is where the crisis starts. That's all I'm going to say. That's all we're allowed to allude to today, because we're not going to talk about current affairs, are we, Laurie?
I've been good.
I know. I couldn't help myself because I wanted to talk about that man that would go to the opening of an envelope.
I know.
And he irritated me.
So we're really talking about him, and obviously
his preference to be front and center on a news station that have reached out to me. Do you remember when they reached out to me at the beginning of the year? And I said, no, not beginning of the year, it was last year.
Yeah.
And I said, thank you, but no, thank you.
Yep.
I will align with my actions.
Yep.
I won't go against who I am just to get a little bit of fame.
Yeah. How are those rugby players?
Oh, they were nice. You sent them to me to distract me. And the meat slapper. Did you see the gardener versus the chef that I sent you yesterday?
Oh my God, you sent it to me.
It was fantastic.
That was great. It was very funny, and at the end, he nailed it.
He did. He
was like, "I got this. I can do this part." Yeah, that was great.
Oh my God,
that was great.
That was
great.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And I'm following Leo Skepi, the 6'7" Albanian. He's not even a health and fitness guru. He's just funny.
Oh, that's great.
He gets up in the morning and goes, "Who wants to do a shot?" Okay, fine. So yes, the rugby players are definitely up there. I am trying to book tickets. So if there's an international rugby team listening to this, I've been trying to get tickets for Melbourne Lions versus London Irish. Please let me know, because I can't get the tickets. Or actually, I could get the tickets. I just wouldn't be able to eat for the next 6 months.
Right.
Like $3,500 each or something ridiculous.
Oh, shit. That's crazy.
Oh, they've sold out of the cheap ones, haven't they?
Oh, right.
Because people are more organised than me.
Well, because we're working all the time.
Oh, I did go and see Jesus Christ.
Yes. How was Jesus?
I was very disappointed. Well, he died and then came back alive, so there's no real surprise.
Yeah, but you had a spoiler alert on that one.
I had a spoiler alert on that. The musicians, the singers, phenomenal. Could not fault them. Their voices are phenomenal. We know the music. The choreography was the worst choreography I have seen since I watched Oliver grade 6 performance. Oliver the musical, not Oliver my son, because he would never be in a musical.
I was assuming it was Oliver Twist, but
I just wanted to check.
He's like, wow, are we in a mood that we're going to rag on our son when he was in sixth form? That's great. Well done, Matilda.
Oh, geez, he gets shit hung on him all the time. Yes, the choreography was the worst I have ever seen in what is classed as a professional musical.
Wow.
It was Terrible.
And for our listeners who may not know, it was Jesus Christ Superstar.
Yes, it was Jesus Christ Superstar. The tickets were $150 each. So it
That's
wasn't
that
a
explains choreography.
cheap. It wasn't cheap.
No, that's true.
It was in one of the best theatres in Melbourne.
Right.
And it had some big names in it.
Certain fashions come into play.
Huh?
Sometimes it can be a stylized thing.
It could be. It's up to the individual
Mhm.
choreographer,
Mhm.
obviously. Having worked with many choreographers
Mhm.
for those of you that don't know, I did work as a dancer, and there was no poles involved. Can I just make that known?
But you could high kick.
I could high kick. Can't fucking do that now. But I can, I can dance. Well, I used to be able to dance. Probably can't now. I'm 53. But yeah, I was just very disappointed. I really was. But the music and the singers and the guy that played, not Pontius
Judas.
Pilate. No, I've only ever seen Tim Minchin as Judas before, and he's just phenomenal. So he's just breathtaking. King Herod, the guy that
Oh.
played King Herod, one song in the whole
Mhm.
musical, breathtaking. But he didn't have to dance. But he could, I think, in his drag heels.
That's great.
But yeah, it was just, I was sad, but I wasn't feeling well that weekend. I threw up in the middle of Spring Street. So, and I hadn't been drinking. I had dinner at this really nice
Mhm.
restaurant almost next door to the theatre on Spring Street in Melbourne. And Spring Street, for those of you that don't know, is one of our major streets. Parliament is opposite.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I had my dinner. I had one glass of champagne. And it's like 20 steps to the theatre. And between the table and the theatre, I upchucked
Nice.
in the
In public?
gutter. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
And then
great.
in the interim, I then upchucked again. I am
But not
classy.
in the theater.
Not in the theatre, no.
Well done.
I think I deserve a well done for that.
You do, because if you made it out of the theater into a
Mm-hmm.
bathroom at least, or an alleyway, you were doing good.
Oh, I just felt so bleh. Um,
Mhm.
but that was very sad because I really like that restaurant.
Mhm.
It's just really sad. But I feel better now, which is good.
Good.
What other excitement things has got? You've had a shit show. We're all talking about me. You've had a shit show. I've just remembered. Let's just reel this off.
Yeah. March 1, within an hour of my mother and I coming home after spending our girls' day out, um, not only, so my dog started it. He had
Malcolm's
gotten
always the
tangled.
troublemaker.
I know. Malcolm had gotten tangled, and my dad was trying to detangle him and had lifted the leash. Now, Malcolm's not a big dog, and dad was supporting him. Dad wouldn't hurt an animal. Okay. So he was trying to get him detangled, and Malcolm bit him. And he doesn't have a lot of teeth, so that took effort. And he got out of his collar and took off. And I hadn't given my dad my rule of, if somebody else is watching my dog, I know him. I
Mm-hmm.
know what he can get up to. He's awful cute and he's super snuggly and he looks like Falcor sometimes, but he can be a little naughty.
Yep.
And especially if I'm not there. And so I have a rule that if he takes off or something, I'm not going to be mad. Don't panic. Just go to my car, because I was with mom. So
Mm-hmm.
just go to my car, open the door. He'll go back to the car.
Yeah.
And I hadn't given dad the spiel. So dad's terrified now that he's lost my dog. And he knows Malcolm is afraid of him in the moment. So he can't run after him because that's not going to help. So he opens every door in the house. And then he has to go wash Buddy, his dog. Okay, so my dog's 25 pounds. His dog is almost 100 pounds. He's a Pyrenees cross. and he likes the mud. So, and it was very muddy and icy in parts where the sun doesn't, there was ice on the yard where the sun doesn't get to. It's shady in those spots. So Dad grabs Buddy by the collar, not with a lead. Buddy takes off. Dad tries to hang on. He's almost 80, folks. And he hits the ice, and down he goes. Buddy runs into the road. He's never been in the road ever in his whole life, so he has 0 street smarts. Like, I don't worry about Malcolm. He was a street dog. So
Yeah, he knows
you
to
can't
avoid
get
things.
that out of, yeah, he knows what to do. Buddy doesn't. And so Dad gets back up on the ice, probably fell again. He admitted to 3 times to my mother, and then the next morning said maybe there was a few more. So he had fallen on the ice, he'd fallen in the mud, and the dog got hit by a truck.
Yeah, poor Buddy.
We get home, and Dad's not around, and we had done our shopping, our weekly shopping, and Dad's always excited to put the groceries away. That's part of the tism. And Dad wasn't up ready to tell us what to do, get out of the way, and he has the pantry. And so I was like, where's Dad? And dinner smelled really good. So I was like, well, Dad's usually excited when we get home. This is weird. And I could hear Malcolm whining, but I couldn't find him. And I was like, this is weird. And I thought, I'm just going to go down and carry all the groceries in. Because my dad, did I mention, his back is shattered from neck to tailbone.
Yeah.
From years of being a firefighter. And so falling was probably not great, although no major injuries were had, by the way.
Which is amazing, yeah.
Oh, freaking think everything. So Mom comes up. Dad finally shows up. And Mom goes, where's Buddy? Or what happened to Buddy? Because Buddy's upstairs. I'd missed him. And he's kind of like cowed. And Mom goes, what happened to Buddy? And Dad goes, he got hit. And I, in that moment, my dad looked like he was 8 years old.
Oh.
You got to remember, he's had strokes. So and once in a while, he gets very childlike. Not childish, childlike. He got hit, and you could just see he's waiting for the hammer to fall. And my mom's like, what? And then I'm looking at Dad, and I'm like, his color is off. And I'm like, what happened to you? Are you okay? And Dad's like, I fell 3 times. I'm like, Dad? And Mom's like, oh, so she's not worried about the dog. Like, Mom, Dad fell 3 times. Right? So they took the dog the next day because it was late. And the emergency vet is very far away. And Dad wasn't in any shape to be going anywhere. And I was like, well, that's why I got the prompt to carry all the groceries in. And so they took the dog to the vet the next day. By the way, Dad checked out too. And he was okay, miraculously. But Buddy broke his pelvis in 2 places. He's healing up just fine. So there was that. Then I got sick at the end of the week.
You did? You nearly shit your pants.
Oh my God, I almost in fact, I was meeting the president of the business association in the town for coffee. And the coffee is very good. It had nothing to do with the poo-poo. But I have just arranged to rent this, right? And we're all getting to know each other. And we walk over to ask a question to somebody else in the association. Excuse me. And I get this horrified look on my face. I said, I'll be right back. Praying to God no one's in the bathroom because I'm like, I'm really close to pooping my panties. And yeah. So
you got sick.
I got sick, and yeah, that was fun. Helped me lose weight though.
Great.
Blessings in everything. Blessings in everything.
We do not advocate the use of anything to help you poop to lose weight.
No, and for God's sake, I cannot understand why anyone would.
Me either.
My poor little bum. I needed a powder puff by the end of the weekend. I was like, no more.
Oh, no
No.
more.
There's nothing left.
I get it hurt too much when nothing's coming out.
Oh God, yeah, it was awful. And then, oh my God, I don't know what other perils happened. And then April 1st, my mother
Mhm.
broke her wrist.
She did, but she did it spectacularly. The fact
Uh,
that she did not break her hip or her neck, I am
yeah,
surprised at. But she decided to jump off it. She didn't jump off. She fell off a
a
balcony.
berm. No, not the balcony, a berm.
What's a berm?
So, when you have like a seasonal creek or you dig a ditch and you
Mhm.
put up like a ledge of dirt,
Yeah.
that's a berm.
Okay.
And she has her tulips juxtaposed to the berm,
Mm-hmm.
and the deer might eat them.
Just in case the deer wanted to eat them, she wanted to put wire on there and then decided to fall off and break her wrist.
Yes, because she was in her head not thinking,
Mm-hmm.
or she was thinking, not looking where she was going, and she got tangled in said wire and fell
I
and
can't think
caught
where you
herself
get
here.
that sort of klutzy behavior you have sometimes from.
She's the ADHD.
Mm-hmm.
He's the autism. Um, and so she comes upstairs, and instead of telling my dad, because dad was kind of grouchy that day, he has good and bad days. And that day hadn't been very good because the stock market was not good.
Yeah, stock market.
Yeah. And, he'll be 80. She's 78 in May. And so he really is upset thinking about mom more than himself. Okay. And so mom comes upstairs and says, "Oh, Laurie." And I'm like, "Oh, she's got like candy or something." So I come in, like, there's a treat. And then childhood flashbacks come in where mom colludes with me. And she's like, "I may have broken my wrist." I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, "What the fuck?" She wouldn't let me tell dad.
Mm.
So I get aspirin with lidocaine. I slather it all over her, get her wrapped up, get her downstairs, help her change her clothes, and say, "You're going to tell dad, right?" "Yes." "Okay." "You're going to go into the hospital tomorrow, right?" "Yes." "Okay." And really, here, it was the best move.
It couldn't
She
have
wouldn't
gone
have
any
gotten
other
any
way.
different
Mm-hmm.
than we did at home,
Yeah.
basically. So the next morning, I get up and he goes, "Good morning. Someone lied and someone helped her." But before we get her set up for bed the night before, she looks at me, she goes, "I need you to help me finish this." So I had to take the wire and protect the tulips. And I'm like, "I'm the klutzy kid. Are you kidding? I did not fall and I did not get injured." But she's like, "Here, hold my good hand." Like,
Jesus, Mary.
no. So I have injured beasts and parents, and my tolerance for where my energy goes changed a lot.
No, I get it. I get it. I don't think people understand the amount of energy we use in our work. Anyone that will pop in or phone or say, "Can you just look into, could you just," I don't want anyone's drama, just drama. Stay away from me with your drama. I ain't
No
giving
drama.
you a reading when I've just finished work.
Yeah.
I don't want to know. Please stop,
Mm-hmm.
because my tolerance for bullshit
Mm-hmm.
is very slim. God, we sell ourselves to people, don't we? Hey,
We do. You really want to read with us. But there's a
yeah.
difference between a mutual exchange, which is what happens in our readings,
Yes.
and people who want that. "Can you just look at my transits? Can
Mm-hmm.
you just look at my transits?" And it's like, it's mental and emotional and energetical in
Yeah.
different layers in what
Mm-hmm.
we do. And there's only so much bandwidth. Um, and in fact, in like, I was warned years and years ago by very experienced practitioners to very much guard my energy because they're like,
Absolutely.
look, people have gone crazy
Well,
by
it's,
overgiving
mm-hmm.
because you'll fry your system.
And that's what I'm trying to protect,
Mm-hmm.
is protect my peace, protect my system by
Mm-hmm.
saying no to people. It's
Mm-hmm.
not, you know what?
And we don't like saying no to people, so it's hard.
It is hard, but
It's
it's
getting
just,
easier.
I've had to cut people out of my life by saying,
Yeah.
they would phone me after my readings every single fucking day and want to talk about current affairs. What's happening with this? Who's happening? Talk about,
Mm-hmm.
ask me specific
Mm-hmm.
questions. What are you picking up around this? How does this make you feel? Fuck off, annoyed. That's
Mm-hmm.
how it makes me
Mm-hmm.
feel.
Right.
Fucking annoyed.
How often do I ask you anything?
You don't. It's very different for you and I, because
Mm-hmm.
you will get a reading within a conversation,
Right.
and you will look at my transits when you
Right.
go, when something specific is happening.
Right.
I
You don't
barely.
ever ask.
No, neither of us ever ask the other.
No. It just happens
It
in
will be
mutual
a
flow.
mutual
Mm-hmm.
mutual flow.
And it's never
Um,
true.
I think I asked you around buff. That was the only time I think I've
But
ever asked
yes.
you.
And I
But
did a reading I don't normally do.
yes, and you were spot
But I knew
on.
you needed it. I was. And I'm sorry.
Well, I'm not holding you personally
Well, I
responsible
will
for the
say,
shite that happens in my life.
it was, you made the very best decision you could because you didn't want to wait.
We didn't want to wait, and we didn't want to get to the point where he was vomiting all the time, and his love of life, because he also had other
Mm-hmm.
conditions. He had a spinal condition as well, which meant that he wasn't as mobile as he used to be.
Mm-hmm.
Like running
Mm-hmm.
around wasn't as fun. His love of life was food. At the end
Mm-hmm.
of the day, I would get him those balls and fill them with the kibble.
Right. Right.
And he would push those around for hours, and they were his just favorite thing in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And take away the food,
Mm-hmm.
and that was going to stop at any stage, any day.
Mm-hmm.
And I spent so much money phoning the specialist vets, going to see our vet, making sure we were doing the
Mm-hmm.
right thing, we weren't doing it too
Right.
soon, and
Right.
all of that. So it doesn't stop me feeling guilty.
No. Well, it's a hard decision.
It's a really hard decision, and I miss him every single day.
I know.
But he's probably in the chair that he used to push me out of, that's behind me,
Mm-hmm.
laughing his head off. But yeah, the moment he couldn't have all the food he wanted,
Mm-hmm.
and he was on such a restricted diet to keep him
Right.
safe.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He just, that last week, I took him out for coffee and he had a whole plate of bacon.
That's the good stuff.
That's the good stuff. That's the stuff you can't give your dogs
Mm-hmm.
that suffer
Mm-hmm.
from stomach issues.
Right.
He literally ate his way around town.
Oh.
And what a way to go out. I said, I want to go out
Right.
with my belly full,
Mm-hmm.
with all of my loved ones telling me what a good boy I was, and
Yeah.
and how
Yeah.
much they loved me. Well,
Right.
I'll settle for that.
I love that.
But yes, I'm glad Buddy is okay. Fuck, that
Thank
was
God.
test.
Yeah.
And then all your tech
He's,
died.
all my tech died. Yeah, except my phone. My phone, good old Bessie, she went, but the sound interface went.
Uh-huh.
My laptop went. Blue screen of death. I had to put it to factory settings. And I didn't. It was a really good check-in because I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I didn't go ah. I just went. Well, I've had that sound interface since 2023, and I've recorded a lot of content. It went around the world with me in my backpack. I didn't check it. I had my mics and my sound interface and my cables. Those were all in my backpack. Um, So it's been around. It's been dropped a few times. You know, it's done its job. And I was like, well, I'll look for another one. You know, and then my laptop within like an hour.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to laugh because I know how stressful it would have been.
Well, and I had readings,
Oh my God.
and I'm like, I can't trust this machine because it's still not operating right. It's
Mm-hmm.
there's something wrong with it. And once my new laptop gets here and I get it all set up, I'll get that one into a shop and see what it needs
Yeah.
fixing
Mm-hmm.
on. But so I had to reschedule readings. You know how much I love doing that.
Just about as much as I love rescheduling readings.
Right. And I had to reschedule the ones for the next day because I'm not going to go get the software to put on a shitty
No,
machine that's
because
not
you're
going to
going
do
to
the
lose it
job.
again. No.
No.
Has your
So I
laptop
have
arrived
all my
yet?
files, but I don't have the software.
Mm-hmm.
And then I dropped a table on my big toe. Oh,
Then
the
you got a
sore big
headache.
toe.
Then you got a headache, but that was just distracting from dropping the table on your big toe.
Did I have a headache that
Yeah,
day?
you did. You had a
It
headache
might.
till the
Oh, it was
next
my
day.
neck.
Yeah.
Yeah, my
Mm-hmm.
neck, and it was probably from the stress. But 10 years ago, I wouldn't have been able to replace the equipment
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no,
like
I get
that,
that.
like be able to go look and then and just do it, and then I would have melted down. I would have been on the floor kicking and screaming like a toddler, you know.
Look how far
And
you've come.
right, and it was so funny because Sarah called right after I had to factory reset my computer, and I was online on my phone looking
Yep.
for replacement stuff, and she said, "How you doing?" And I went, well, my sound interface died, and I got the blue screen of death, and I'm looking at new equipment right now." And she was like, "Oh, I'm not going to add to this right now." And I said, "No, no, I'm okay." And she's like, "Are you sure you're really calm, or is this you're really calm right before you go crazy calm?" And I was like, "I'm really calm. It's okay." Because she's witnessed the whole journey from, me trying to build websites, back starting
Yeah.
20 years ago. When I had to code the freaking PayPal button with the HTML to get it to work. And so she's been on
Jesus.
that journey. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Those were the days. And she's heard the sound of ultimate suffering more than once out of frustration. But
Yeah.
it was just, I was like, too much went right with this building coming in.
Mm-hmm.
It's just boom, boom, boom. And I went, maybe energy is just clearing before, because I know there's a new cycle on the way.
Yeah.
It's coming up. This week it begins.
Yay.
Ça commence.
Yay. Do I sound tired? I'm excited. I am excited.
We
This
we
this
might, yeah.
this
It
is
could be good.
I'm not I don't think it's individually bad. I think we have to hold our consciousness. I've been really motivated the last 24 hours to start tidying and cleaning and sorting and
Yeah,
doing.
yeah, yeah. Getting organized. That's a
Yeah.
good thing.
Get organized before the shizer hits the fan.
And oh, the shiza it shall be.
It shall be. Is it going to be runny shit? Or is it going to be
I think it's going to be like duck poop when a duck has had too many slugs.
ooh, oh God, I think I'm going to vomit at that thought. My stomach's only just back to normal today.
You're welcome. Yeah. Oh no, it's going to be a lot, but I think on an individual level, there's a lot to be had.
It's a lot of
It's
growth to
just,
be had.
yeah.
You've just got to
I'm
be
not.
open to that growth
Yep.
and look at doors closing as doors opening. And that is that sounds really wanky. But the
No, but it's true.
reality is that things removed will always make a way for new things to show up.
Absolutely.
Because you've got to make space for them.
You do. And we're leveling, like Sarah and I have been working on leveling up, making sure we have the right equipment, starting other podcasts, you know. So
cool. Can't wait to hear all about those.
Right. I'm excited about it.
Okay. Well, I think that's about it for today.
I do too.
That's enough of a download. We have just offloaded all of our stresses for the last 2 months onto our listeners. Please send your invoices for therapy to
Turns about fair play.
Yeah, I think you do. At notgonapayit.com.au.
Right. We've had a lot go on.
It has been a lot, but as we said, you know, new energy. That's what it's all about.
Well, and it's about clearing. And honestly, in all cases, on my end, you know, it all lined up kind of with what I said about March's energy would be, it could have been worse.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how we would leave the month. It could have been worse. And it really could have.
But it wasn't.
No, and it wasn't. And so and it was funny because I called my brother after Mom's incident. I was like, okay, let me give you the litany of the last month. And remember how we were both concerned? Rightfully so. So, you know, it's good I'm here.
Yeah.
So
it's good you're there. It's good that you're there to take care of them and maybe surround your parents in bubble wrap.
I threatened.
Did your mother need a helmet?
Often. She has one for when she makes her luge run. But that's a different story for a different day.
Very different story for a different day. But on that note, I will
All right.
see you next week.
Ta-ra, ta-ta.
Ta-ta.